Okay, let's talk about Kovu for a bit. This will be a two-parter and I'll explain why. So, what started this was because I've seen a video where someone did fan art of various Disney characters, and then it cut to some Lion King characters. It was a fan art of Simba, Mufasa, and Kion. And then the next part cuts to Kovu, and it implies that Kovu isn't Scar's son, and then someone asks, wait, isn't Kovu Scar's son? And a comment brought up this clip.
Kovu. Scar wasn't even his father. He just took him in.
And that got me thinking. I've seen Lion King 2 tons of times back in the day. And I never thought of that because Kovu looks exactly like Scar. Same fur color, same mane color, and same little green eyes of envy. No other lion back in Mufasa's pride had green eyes. It was only Scar. So it's time to do some digging. On some info, starting with Zero. Now, either the movie never mentioned this or it just didn't go into detail on this, but Zero was in the Pridelands during Scar's reign. The movie did mention multiple times of Kovu being the chosen one. He was handpicked by Scar, but he and Kiara must be the same age. So, timeline-wise, things add up. Zero must have been pregnant with Kovu just right before Scar's death. And Scar was the king of the Pride at the time. In fact, there's one detail I'll go into later. Secondly, Kovu's name literally means scar in Swahili. So him getting a scar later wasn't just symbolism. They were making it clear. Now here's the interesting bit. Now behind the scenes, Kovu was supposed to be Scar's son, but someone noticed that there would have been some certain Alabama undertones between Kovu and Kiara, so they changed that. Also, his design was reshaded, but they certainly didn't change the colors all that much. But here's the problem with this. Two problems, actually. First, he didn't go with a huge recolor. Secondly, they noticed too late. And these days, we got Lion Guard, which is kinda Lion King 3. Point is, Disney didn't notice this for 28 years. Oh man, 28 years. I'm the same age as Lion King. What the king, the dominant male lion, has multiple mates. And back in Lion King 1 and 2, we've never seen any other male lions in the pride. In fact, there was no coalition, which is a term for a group of male lions. So you know what that means. That means Simba and Nala are... No! And they have 2 kids. Now the ironic thing about this is that Scar seems to have had just 1 kid. Now there's Kovu's brother, Nuka. Maybe he could have been Scar's son as well. In fact, he was the one that really wanted to prove himself. He wanted to get the job done. And when he died, oh, Zero didn't like that at all. Maybe Nuka just got his mother's eyes and not Scar's. And their sister, she has blue eyes, so no resemblance to Scar at all in her case. Now back to Lion Guard. Now I honestly can't blame Disney for not noticing this for so long, because Lion Guard is the first time they acknowledged those sequels from the late 90s and early 2000s. They never did that before. Even though Lion King 2, that was one of the good ones, that and Little Mermaid 2. But still, they could have retconned Kovu's design. In fact, have him be the son of that other lion Scar knew. Now, I never watched the series, I just know of it. Especially when the show established that Scar was a ghost. Just like Mufasa, I don't know how the hell that happened. And the show established that this lion is why Scar turned. It seems cool, but also a little bit of a letdown because the Lion King actually had some old lore. Old lore on how Scar got his scar. Simba having a son there too. In fact, Scar, in the old lore, had an African name, Taka. But in African, Taka means dirt. And when he got a scar, that was his own fault. The show also explained why Kion wasn't there in Lion King 2, or at least the climax. He was fighting Scar's ghost. And he was basically fighting off the urges of a Sith, because when he got a scar, he was slowly becoming bad like Scar did. So in the part 2 for this, I'll draw up Kovu in the color scheme of that lion Scar knew. Okay, let me stop right here. Freaking wow, man. I had this video done. In fact, I'm already working on part 2 at the time of this edit. But this lion Scar knew, I forgot. In the song, When I Became Scar, Scar didn't know this line for very long. He tried to force Scar to do his bidding. That didn't work. Scar dealt with him. So, part 2 is going into what if territory. I'll still draw Kovu to look related to this lion, but timeline-wise, he would have to be his grandson. And when Scar picks him as an heir, either he didn't care at that point because he was full on evil, or he picked him because vengeance would fuel him. And he'd be just as evil as he is.